Let's dance.
I'm annoyed. I'm highly annoyed with some of the I see people saying. You know, I'm not trying to throw sticks at anybody who wants to flip-flop, but the flip-floppers are starting to throw at us because we're not going along with their flip-flop. And that's some bull. That's some serious.
Number 7 is that sunset and sunrise times and angles match perfectly on the sphere, and the flat Earth cannot explain one of them. If you take this model and you take anywhere, I'm going to put it here under sunbeam. Okay, this is the sun.
My word, look at all those parallel sun rays. What part of Antarctica convinced you that the light from the sun was parallel?
No matter what date you do, no matter what year you do, if you then turn on the twilight, okay? So you'll notice here these lines that, and if you look at this, this is the reason we have sunrise, sunset. The sphere model matches sunrise, sunset times and angles. So how could it be that we don't live on a sphere, yet the sphere perfectly matches observations? Of course, Chevy Rutero says, I sold my soul to the devil because I give you facts, because I tell you how the world works. It's embarrassing for you guys. It really is embarrassing. It's not embarrassing for me. It's embarrassing to have been a part of it. But it's embarrassing for you guys to have to jump to, oh, this doesn't match my belief system, therefore you're a shill, you sold your soul to the devil. You're in big trouble for the rest of your life, my friend. Very big trouble. Because I'm trying to explain to you that you cannot answer any of these 8 facts. There is no answer to them. That's why I brought them up.
It's highly... If you think you're just gonna go around and act like you're smarter than everybody now because you went back to the globe, because you saw new evidence that isn't new, by the way. Oh, I took pictures of the sun for a few months and now I know Earth's a globe. Shut the up, dude. Holy did everybody forget, when we first got into this, well, why do we think Earth's a globe? Did anybody go through that? Did anybody remember going through that and trying to find out, well, if Earth's not a globe, why do they tell us it is? Why do they tell us Earth's the globe? Well, because of the sky. Geniuses.
Excuse me, could you please tell me if the floor is level? Look at the ceiling! All the lines on the ceiling are curved! And all the light bulbs are curved! That means the floor should be curved too!
Okay, look, I'm gonna show you. Even in 2019, when I went to the Amsterdam Flat Earth Conference in 2019, this is 6 years ago, okay? 6 years ago. You know who did a presentation there? Me, but also you know who did a presentation there? Zack. And do you know what the subject of Zack's presentation was in the Flat Earth Conference in 2019? The biggest problems of the Flat Earth. You see this? This is the title of his talk. The biggest problems of the Flat Earth. We're gonna watch this. You are gonna watch this.
So check out this diagram.
Here, Decimal Z is specifically talking about problems involved in trying to triangulate the distance to the sun. Please pay attention to what the problem is.
So what you see here is land. This is actually land, all right? And this is the sun. We don't know where it is, so it can be anywhere. And these are the angles of the light during the daylight. 12 hours of the day, or in this case 10 hours. So anyway, if you are right here and your friend is right here, both angles are 75 degrees, then the distance to the sun has to be, like I said before, 3,870 miles. So now, if you want to do the same thing with many people from different places on Earth at the same time, imagine you have this guy right here is going to triangulate the sun from with this guy right here. So they will have the sun at an altitude that is I cannot even see it from here, but anyway, it's going to be lower than the first one. And the guy right here is going to have the sun at even lower altitude. So, and the guy who's not even here on the screen, he's going to see the sun right about the guy who is right here. right above his head, and he's gonna call him on a cell phone, Eratosthenes cell phone. He's at that time had a cell phone. So he's gonna call him, hey man, I see the sun right above your head, so the distance to the sun has to be 0, right? Oh, the guy, the guy over here is gonna be like, no man, you must have confused me with somebody else. The sun is way above my head.
So you've got two guys. One guy is standing directly under the sun at noon, and another guy is really far away, and for him, it's morning. He's watching the sun rise, and he's looking way out at the sun saying, oh my goodness, you must be on fire. You're touching the sun. And the other guy's like, what are you talking about? No, the sun's way up there above my head. I'm not touching the sun. And so this is where you're getting into the apparent sun. The sun appears to be touching the ground, but it's not really touching the ground. Okay? They figured out the apparent sun 6 years ago. Apparent suns was number 8 on Jeran's list. We covered that one last time. This time we're covering point 7, which is best understood when you understand point 8.
So, you as a geometry guy, and I say geometry guy because all they know is what they have on the paper. They don't know what's going on in the universe. So as a geometry guy, how is this possible on a flat earth? If you believe in a flat earth, this is not possible. You cannot have too many suns. You only have one sun. So how are you going to solve this? Can anybody tell me how you are going to solve this problem? Because this is a really big problem for flat earthers. Tell me.
It's an apparent position, the sun.
The sun is in what?
It's an apparent position, like a personal frame of reference.
Ah, see, she got it. The number one way I see anti-flat earthers strawman the flat earth is by pretending that we don't live in an atmospheric environment. Pretending like there is no refraction in the air whatsoever. How have you come back to that, Jeran?
So, you're gonna dismiss this, and then you will go to the second option, which is curve down the earth. So, these are, let's say these are the real elevation angles, all right? When you curve down the earth, you can see that the elevation angles, they diverge from the top, and eventually they will become parallel to each other. And in this case, we will have one sun, because all these lines will never intersect anywhere because they are parallel to each other. But if we claim that the sun is too big, then maybe, you know. So in this case, you can say that we are solving the problem.
Oh my goodness, look at that. He is repeating back Jeran's point number 7 to a T.
In 2019, this is 6 years ago.
You go back to your globe and you look at it. And you look at it again because you don't understand. I mean, you're not solving anything here. So what do you want to do now to solve this problem? The first thing you will think about is measure the distance between these lines and you have to make it match reality. So how are you going to do this? There is somebody very smart, we all know him, called Eratosthenes, a guy with a cell phone. Here he is, so smart. This guy measured the circumference of the earth. So when you measure the circumference of the earth, of course you will know the distance between these two lines. So how did he do that? You all know the story of Eratosthenes, or should I repeat it?
So Jeran's entire argument boils down to Eratosthenes and the light from the sun being parallel.
Like, but seriously, if that is what it takes to flip you guys back to the globe, you guys should have been Globers a long time ago. Seriously.
Yet, when I talk to him, Jeran over there likes to act all high and mighty, saying, how dare you think you can teach me about flat earth? Well, I guess I don't really need to teach him when he already used to know this stuff. It's more like reminding him of what he used to know.
How could you prove the shape of the earth without looking at images from space?
We could look at water. It lies level and flat, always has, always will.
Well, a Greek named Eratosthenes did it 300 years BC. He suspected the world was round. After all, the sun and the moon are round.
That's bad logic. Bad logic. just because all of the lights in your house are spherical, that would never make your floor spherical also. Come on.
He also noticed the sun's rays fell in parallel lines.
Oh really, did he notice that? Because all their observations would have told them in 275 BC that those beams of sunlight come from a close sun. In fact, Eratosthenes thought the sun was close. So, no way he thought they came in parallel lines.
He thought to himself, how is it possible to have shadows in Alexandria and not in Syene at the same time of the day?
Oh, easy. When you have a small local sun, everything works out exactly the same.
Eratosthenes figured out that the sun must be directly overhead in Syene, but not in Alexandria. Aha! Here was the proof that the Earth's surface is curved.
Oh my goodness! That looks so familiar!
No matter what date you do, no matter what year you do, if you then turn on the twilight, okay? So you'll notice here these lines that, and if you look at this is the reason we have sunrise, sunset.
Wait, what?
Here was the proof that the Earth's surface is curved. That the Earth's surface is curved. Proof.
No.
Proof.
No.
Proof.
No.
Eratosthenes, much like the bottom of your beloved globe, holds no weight. Next, we have a teacher trying to explain this garbage. Make sure you watch right at the beginning here and you can actually see the moment that he realizes what he's teaching doesn't really make sense at all.
And Eratosthenes realized that if you were to extend this ray of light coming in at Syene, it would go all the way to the center of the Earth, if you were to extend that line. And he realized that if you were to extend this ray of light coming in at Alexandria, it would miss the center of the Earth. But the pole setup, which was vertical, if you were to extend that line, it would go to the center of the Earth.
Well, yes, I guess if you were on a ball, you might have those things happen. So now you can see part of the problem here. When the globe needs parallel rays, they use parallel rays. But as soon as an eclipse comes, well, now they need to use angled rays, as seen in this image. Not too hard to deceive people when you get to set the rules. And for all you who put so much faith into this Eratosthenes character, please take a look at his Wikipedia, which clearly says that it was unlikely, even accounting for his extremely primitive measuring tools, that Eratosthenes could have calculated an accurate measurement for the circumference of the Earth.
You knew this stuff back in 2017. What happened?
They won't let you remember.
Sorry.
So, when you say,
Aha! Here was the proof that the Earth's surface is curved.
you just simply sound silly. Eratosthenes,
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
so be kind to everyone, don't lie to each other, and open your mind, because that's where truth is. And this has been Jeranism. Until next time. Hey!
If you don't understand it, you'll get wishy-washy and flip-flop back based on crap information. And you'll start ignoring all of the measurements of a level stationary Earth that we did and all of the other preponderance of evidence. So, again, I'm thankful that I walked through this difficult subject years ago. Zack taught me this way in the beginning. I knew this from the beginning. This whole time, I've known this stuff. So when 24-hour sun, when the whole final experiment and all that crap went, to me, it was like, pfft, it's all showboating. They're just, it's a trick, right? There's something behind here, because we don't care if there's a 24-hour, I don't care if there's a 24-hour sun in the south. I don't care. Because the preponderance of evidence goes beyond that, okay?
Who you
With a shout out to jdecals.com and
The Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app.
Sure enough, it's the perfect gift for friends, family, and complete strangers. Watch the feature video every day for 2 weeks and see what happens. It'll be the best $2.99 you've ever spent.
This is only possible if the sun's light comes parallel to the Earth, and the Earth is a curved surface, as shown in the diagram. However, the sun's light can only be assumed to be parallel because the sun is claimed to be 109 times larger than the Earth. But this then creates a paradox, because the moon also casts the exact same shadows as the sun, and yet the moon is only supposed to be a quarter the size of the Earth. The problem is, if the moon's light is assumed to be parallel, then it would only illuminate a small portion of the Earth. But we know that this is false. Half of the Earth is supposed to be able to see the moon at any given time when the moon is illuminated. And so half of the Earth should also be illuminated by the moon. But by assuming parallel light from the moon, half of the Earth would not be illuminated by the moon. So the moon's light cannot be parallel, but it has to be if the sun's light is supposed to be parallel, because they both must create the same shadows. The only way that the sun and the moon can create the same shadows is if both lights act in the same way. And only the flat Earth model has both the sun and the moon illuminating the Earth in the same way. Both are radial lights that are smaller and closer to the Earth than in the globe model. So by also considering the light of the moon, only one model allows both the sun and the moon to cast the same shadows, the flat Earth model, while the globe model cannot account for this.